Okay, so good afternoon to all, and welcome to lecture number 10. And in this lecture, we'll be studying about various age detectors. Particularly, we'll be focusing on first derivative methods and, if possible, in second derivative methods also. Okay. Yesterday, we talked about the fundamentals of age, like, for example, age definition, and then how ages are formed, what are the reasons of forming the ages. And also we talked about why ages are interesting in computer vision application and so on. And then how to detect the ages. So that fundamentals we have covered in our yesterday's talk. So today we'll start about how to detect exactly ages in the image. So you know that basically an age is a set of connected pixels that lie on the border. So this is nothing but the age. So it is a set of connected pixels which lie on the border between the two regions. So this is one region and this is another region. So this is the set of connected pixels that lie on the boundary. And this very simple age, if you plot the age gray level profile of this age, it will be just like as a step kind of function. And then detecting this one is really easy, and so on. Also, we talked about this one yesterday, this, okay, if intensity is gradually changing, then it's really challenging to detect the age and so on. So the gray level profile of this one is, see that this is gray level of this region that is black, and then this gray level is basically it is going to increasing basically, and that's why this age profile or gray level profile is also increasing, and then finally up to this point, and after that it remains same. So this age profile, gray level profile remains constant here. So you get the gray level profile of this image like this. So this is the ramp kind of function, whereas this is a step kind of function, and then detecting this kind of ages are easy and so on. Now we'll see, yesterday we talked about the derivative, how to take the derivative of age profile for the first order derivative as well as second order derivative. Now we'll see the actual masks which are basically formed with the help of first order derivative as well as second order derivative and so on. So you know that edges are detected by taking the derivative, whereas noise is removed by using the integration and so on, or by using low pass filter. So derivative is equivalent to your high pass filter, and so we have already spoken about how derivatives are used to find the discontinuities and so on. So suppose, for example, this is the this one age, like for example, if it is gray label is like as a ramp kind of function. So the second image, if you consider, so you get the gray level profile of that image like this. Now if you take the first derivative of this gray level profile, you get the function like this. See, means basically difference between this one is 0. Again, see what happens, basically difference changes and it is constant change is there. So difference changes and it is constant in this region, and again difference becomes 0 here. So your first derivative will be this kind of function, and so on. Now if you take the second derivative, or means derivative of this first derivative, you get the positive peak here and also you get the negative peak here. So now from that you can detect the age direction. So basically here first derivative tells us where is an age. So here there is an age as well as here there is an age. But second derivative will tell you the direction of the age, okay, age direction. So in this direction and in this direction and so on. So these are the basically uses of this first derivative and second derivative and so on. Now you know that detecting the age, because in a noisy environment, is really challenging, because noise is also a high frequency special frequency component and age is also a high special frequency component. So if you are using only derivative kind of filters to detect the noise, to detect the age, and if that image contains the noise, then there are chances that your operator or basically filter will detect the wrong edges, and so on the misleading edges will be there. So derivative based edge detectors are extremely sensitive to the noise, and we have to keep this in mind. So definitely we have to develop the method which will remove the noise first, and then after that we can detect the edge. So these are the examples here which I have given. Like for example, this is the edge profile of simple image without any noise. So you get like this edge profile, and this is the image. Similarly, if this image is like as a black completely one patch, so you get zero gray level profile, and if it is some having 128 or something like that, so it will be having maximum value here, and again black, so you'll get this kind of function here. And here, okay, you get basically image like this, okay, or a gray level profile like this for this image. So another thing is that here, okay, suppose for example, image is corrupted with noise and so on, then how this gray level profile will be there. So you can see the gray level profile of these images. Now detecting the edge in this is really challenging with the help of only first order or second order derivative methods and so on. So we have to use basically another methods which will remove noise first, and then this one. Now what are the different methods of edge detection? So there are basically three types of methods. One is first order derivative method, or which we call as a gradient based method. And then second one is second order derivative method. And then third one is optimal edge detection method. So under the first order derivative method means we are taking the derivative once. So that is here the methods are like as a Roberts operator is used as a first order derivative method, gradient based method, or Sobel operator is there, or Privet operator is there. So all those operators are developed around 1970s, means 50 years back they have been developed for using detecting the edges and so on. Then second order derivative method is the Laplacian. But if you use this Laplacian alone, then basically it creates the problem of noise and so on, and then edge detection will not be good. So another technique which is used as second order derivative method is Laplacian of Gaussian. So if you take the Laplacian of Gaussian, that is nothing but the LOZ, so you get better edge detection as compared to the Laplacian, simple Laplacian. We'll see how it is. You get better result. Then another, see that the problem of this Laplacian of Gaussian is computation complexity is high. So to reduce the computation complexity, another method is proposed whose result is just like as the Laplacian of Gaussian, and then that is nothing but the difference of Gaussian. So DOZ, that is called as the DOZ method. Okay, but you know that whether it is like a first order derivative method or second order derivative method, our ideal edge detection method is that you should detect or you should get the edge at the right place, means basically wherever edge is there, that at that location only edge should be detected, means localization should be good. Second thing is that, so that is first criteria. Second thing is that edge should be of 1 pixel thick. So sometimes it may happen that Sobel operator you get the basically more than 1 pixel thick image and so on. And then third thing is that noise should not be there, okay, and so on. So these things, okay, all those first order or second order derivative methods suffers with these kind of problems. But this optimal edge detection technique, which is proposed in 1979 around by Canny, and this technique is really good technique for detecting the edge. So we'll also study this kind of edge detection technique. Now, already you people have studied this edge detection techniques in your image processing course. So I'll go a bit fast here. So the first order derivative edge detection techniques. So under that, you know that the Roberts operators are there, Privet's operators are there, Sobel operators are there, and then first order of Gaussian is also there. Okay. So the first order definition is that means you are taking the partial derivative with respect to x as well as sorry, here it should be y, right? So dou f by dou x and this dou f by dou y should be there. So gx is nothing but dou f by dou x, and then gy should be nothing but dou f by dou y. Here it should be y, right? So gradient function for two-dimensional is defined like this. So this is nothing but the gradient vector. And when you have to find out the magnitude of that edge, because you will get the two images like edge detected in horizontal direction and edge detected in vertical direction. So finally you have to combine these edge detection techniques together, whether you have applied gradient in x direction or in y direction. You have to combine that one, and then finally you have to represent the result which detects the edges in x and y direction, and then for that you have to calculate the magnitude of this one. So once you get the value of gx and gy, that is nothing but the gradient in x direction and gradient in y direction. So you have to find out the edge magnitude by taking this magnitude of gx and gy. Also, you have to find out the angle of that edge, so that gives the direction of the gradient vector and so on. So this is basically a definition of your two-dimensional function gradient, which is defined with del f, and which is given by gx and zy. Okay. Now, when you are applying this one on the image, you have to apply row wise, and then you have to apply column wise, right? So you have to take the gradient row wise, you'll get the horizontal edge detection, and then column wise, okay, and so on. Now see that when you are applying the row wise, okay, keep in mind that when you are applying the row wise, the mask is such that, okay, it will detect the vertical edges. And when you are applying the column, okay, row wise, when you are applying the column wise, okay, so when you are applying that column wise, okay, we'll see this gy, and then when you are applying the row wise, you'll see zx and so on. So how edges are detected in that, so we'll see that one. So you have to basically, on the same image, you have to apply this gradient in x direction as well as in y direction, and then you have to combine this one together to get the final resultant. You will get basically the magnitude image of edge as well as this one, your angle, edge angle, and so on. So g of xy, that is dou f xy by dou x, and then cos theta plus dou f xy x comma y by dou y into sin theta. So that is the gradient along the line normal to the edge slope and so on. So like that way you have to calculate the magnitude and angle of that. So this is the procedure basically to calculate the or find the edge in the two-dimensional image and so on. Now this gradient approximation is done, like for example, when you are taking the difference between the, suppose for example, f of ij is the pixel under consideration, and then next, see, if you are considering this j as a column, then definitely okay, the next column pixel intensity okay, is taken here, and then it is okay, f of ij, that is the pixel under consideration, so that will be subtracted from the next one. So if you basically okay, find the coefficients of this one. So this is nothing but, see, f of ij is the pixel under consideration, so -1 and then 1. Okay, so gx you are doing like that way. Okay, so -1 means basically you are subtracting the pixel under consideration from the next pixel. So this is the next pixel. You are considering the intensity of pixel under consideration, this one, from the next one. So -1 and then 1. So you are applying this row wise and so on. Similarly, for zy, see that f of I comma j minus f of I plus 1 comma j. So this is just like as basically this one, f of I, see that 1 and -1 it will come, and you have to basically apply this as a column wise. So that's why this one, g of x and g of y, you'll get this basically templates like this. And then generally differences are computed at the interpolated points. So interpolated points means basically it is I comma j plus 1 divided by 2 and I plus 1 divided by 2 into j. So these are the interpolated points. There you have to calculate the difference. So your whole operator will become like this. So see that operator will become like this. For gx, it will be 1 and -1 and then 0 and 0. So because this f of ij, this will be nothing but what? F of ij minus f of I plus 1 j plus 1. So this is f of I plus 1 j plus 1, and then z of y will be equal to f of I plus 1 and j and minus f of I comma j plus 1. So this is your operator for Roberts operator. Now differences are computed at the interpolated points, these interpolated points. So that is nothing but I plus 1 divided by 2 and j plus 1 divided by 2, and not at I comma j. So that okay, you can extend this Robert operator for 3 dimensions also. But okay, these pixels will be 0 in that case, and then only this will be there. So this is the pixel under consideration in case of 3-dimensional, and this is the pixel under consideration in 3-dimensional. So one represents your jx and another represents your gy, and then finally, if your coefficients are like that as the g1, z2, z1, z2, z3, and z4, z5, z6, so like this way. So what is this one? So this is nothing but z5, and what is this one? That is nothing but z9. So your gx will be what? z9 minus z5. What about gy? So that will be equal to, what is this one? So this is z8. So z8 minus, what is this? z6. So z8 minus z6 will be the value of g8, and z9 minus z5 will be the value of zx. So these are the these are the coefficients of this mask of Robert. And you can see the image when you apply. You can check that one in MATLAB or OpenCV or in Python also. So the output of image has been scaled by factor. This one, suppose this is the image, and if you apply a Roberts mask for detection of the age, you get the output like this. So spurious dot indicates that the operator is susceptible to the noise. So sometimes it may happen that, see that there is a age only here, so you get the age properly, but there is no age inside that one. Still you get some dots, and so that is nothing but the noise. So noise is also captured in case of Roberts operator. And some edges are also missing. So really this edges, so this hand is there, but it is not well connected with the edge. So some of the edges are missing, some of the edges are extra. So the performance of Robert operator is not that way good. But implementation point of view, it is a really simple operator. Then another operator is the Sobel operator. So this is also a 3x3 mask, and one more important see that, suppose for example 3x3 mask is there. So this is Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5, Z6, and Z7, Z8, and Z9. One important change here they have made that they are giving more importance to the central pixel. See that pixel under consideration is this one. So its age strength is detected basically on the neighboring pixels, and then by taking the difference, see that 1 to 1 and -1, -2, -1. So zx and then zy, that is 1 to 1 and then -1, -2, -1. So this is the pixel under consideration. So here more importance is given to the central pixel and less importance are given to the other pixels. So central pixel is given more importance, and other pixels are given less importance, and so on. So the 3x3 convolution mask smooths the image by some amount, and hence it is less susceptible to the noise. So because of this 3x3 mask, it may smooth the image, or it may average the image to some extent, not fully. And that's why noise problem will be reduced as compared to the Roberts operator. But it produces the thicker edge. See that this is the disadvantage of the Sobel mask or Sobel operator, and so on. So thicker edge you get. What is the requirement? You want a edge with 1 pixel wide, and so on. So edge localization is poor in this case. Now you look at the this one output. You can compare the output here. I have compared the output of Sobel operator as well as Roberts operator. Now here you can see clearly edges are not missing in this case. But here in Roberts operator, some of the edges are missing. But what is the disadvantage of this one? Edges are thicker. So here edges are thinner. Okay. Another thing is that see that noise is also not completely reduced in this case. Okay. Uh, it is not completely reduced in Sobel operator also. So if you compare the output of the Sobel operator with Roberts operator, the serious spurious edges are still present, but they are relatively less intense compared to the genuine lines. And Roberts operator has missed the few edges, so Robert operator has, and Sobel operator detects the thicker edges. So edges which are detected by the Sobel operator are thicker as compared to the Roberts operator. There is one more operator that is called the Privet operator, which is just like as a Sobel operator. Only thing is that they have given equal weightage to all the pixels under consideration, means by neighboring pixel. They have not given, see, in case of Sobel operator, the central pixel is given more importance as compared to the side pixels and so on. But in case of Privet operator, this is not like that. So in case of Privet operator, all they see that this is not +2, it is only +1. So +1, +1, and +1, and then -1. So this is GX operator, and then GY operator is like this. And then in case of Sobel, as I said, that this is +2, whereas in case of Privet operator, it is +1. The rest of the things remain same. See that this central pixels are 1, here central pixels are 2. Okay. Similarly here also. So that is the main difference between the Privet operator and Sobel operator. So in case of Privet operator, all the pixels are given equal weightage, whereas in case of Sobel operator, center pixels are given more weightage. So we have seen the Roberts operator, Sobel operator, Privet operator. There is also one scar operator. So you can you can make your own operator also by making. See what is the how you are going to design this filter. So one thing you have to keep in mind that total coefficient, see, sum of the total coefficient must be equal to 0. So even if you take the Sobel operator, so -1, -2, -1, and then this 1, 2, 1. So if you take the summation of this one, it will be 0. If you take the summation of this one, it will be 0. So same thing is here, same thing is here, and same thing is there. Now scar operator is developed like this. They have given 10 weightage here, so -10, 3, 3, so -3. So summation of the coefficient is 0. Summation of here also summation of the coefficient is 0. So like that way, you can also design your own operator which will do the high pass filtering. But you have while doing that one, you have to keep in mind that for high pass filter, the summation of the coefficient must be equal to 0. So that you have to do. So you can also create your own mask and so on. So here. Now computing the image gradients means basically whether you have a Sobel operator or whether you have a Robert operator or whether you have a Privet operator, procedure is same. Okay, operators will change, procedure is same. What you have to do, you have to select your favorite derivative filter. Whether now here suppose for example I have selected this one Sobel operator, Sx and Sy is the Sobel operator in x direction and y direction, right? Now see that when you are detecting basically the upward edge in this in Sx, basically when you are applying this operator and when you are moving this one, what kind of edge you will detect with this one? So what a difference you are going to detect it? It will be a vertical edge, right? Whereas in this one, Sy, you are going to detect the horizontal edge. That is what I wanted to say in earlier slide also, right? So here you are going to detect the vertical edge. Here you are getting to detect the this one horizontal edge and so on, right? So that is the keep in mind. Okay, then. After that, once you select that one, you have to convolve that operator with the image to compute the derivative. So you have to convolve this one. How to convolve that one? You have to keep the center of this one mask on the pixel under consideration. So whatever the pixel under consideration is there, you have to keep the center of that mask on this one, and then do the convolution like whatever we have done earlier. We have studied this convolution entire process earlier, and find out the magnitude okay, what is that difference there, and then what you have to do, you have to shift that one by 1 pixel. Again, you have to do that, do the convolution. So like that way, one complete row is over. Again, you have to come back, and then so row by row, you have to do this one. Here also you have to do row by row. Only thing is that now mask is changed like this, and so you have to when you convolve this one, you will get dou f by dou x. So this is nothing but the convolution of Sx. Sx is nothing but your mask of x direction. It is convolved with f. F is nothing but your original image. And then here you get the partial derivative or gradient in x direction. Similarly, you get the gradient in y direction if you are using this mask for convolution with the image. Right. Then after that, your third step is that you have to find out the see, you get basically the gradient, and then after that you have to find out the amplitude and direction. So for finding the amplitude, what you have to do, you have to take the magnitude of this dou f by dou x. Okay, you know how to calculate the magnitude of dou f by dou x, under root dou f by dou x square plus dou f by dou y square. So all those pixels, whatever the coefficients you get, you have to take the square of that one. I have to add. See, means basically at the location of this dou f by dou x and dou f by dou y, you have to do that one for all the coefficients, and then you'll get the amplitude or magnitude image. Right. Similarly, you have to find out the angle. So angle from this dou f by dou x. So angle of that particular pixel or coordinate or coefficient is given by dou f by dou x tan inverse dou f by dou x dou f by dou y divided by dou f by dou x. So whatever this value it comes here at that particular location, so this value is basically divided by this value, and then tan inverse is taken on that one. So that gives the direction, and this gives the magnitude. So magnitude is nothing but the strength of your edge, and this direction will give you the direction of that edge, and so on. Right. Now you can look at this one. Suppose for example this is the original image, and then you have used, suppose for example this one, you have used Sobel operator for that one. Now after taking a derivative, vertical derivative, as I said that you will get basically maximum information about the horizontal edges and so on. So horizontal part you'll get, and then horizontal derivative you'll get the vertical kind of thing. Now this is the vertical derivative, and this is the horizontal derivative. You got this Sx and this one and Sy with this one. And then after that you have to combine this together, horizontal as well as vertical part together, and then this will give you the magnitude or amplitude magnitude image, and you will see the clear edges, which see that it is not visible. Clear edges are not visible in the vertical derivative, or clear edges are not visible in the horizontal derivative, but you have to combine vertical and horizontal part together to get the clear edge. So that is nothing but the amplitude or gradient amplitude and so on. So you get the edges like this. Now if you summarize the first order derivative method, so here the noise, that is simple edge detectors, are affected by noise filters and can be used to reduce the noise. Okay. So here basically first order derivative method, that simple edge detectors, you might have seen that in the image edge detected by this Robert operator or Sobel operator or Privet operator, there is a presence of noise. So in first order derivative techniques, simple edge detectors are affected by noise, and filters can be used to reduce that noise. So definitely you have to use the low pass filter for that one. The second problem with this simple first order derivative technique is that edge thickness. Edge is several pixels wide for Sobel operator, and edge is not localized properly. That is the problem with this one. Roberts operator is very sensitive to the noise, Okay, Sobel operator goes for averaging and emphasizes on the pixel closer to the center of the mask, and it is less affected by the noise in, okay, and is one of the most popular edge detector. One advantage of this first order derivative technique is that implementation wise or computational complexity is very less as compared to the other technique. But disadvantage is that it suffers with the noise. Okay, now we'll see the second order derivative techniques of this one. So you know that when you take the derivative of this derivative, suppose for example this is the gray level profile, earlier example, just we are continuing with this one. So if you take the first derivative, you get the first derivative like this of this gray level profile, and if you take the second derivative, you get the edge direction basically, right? So edge direction is like this for second derivative, and then this one. So here you get the zero crossing of this one. So where exactly is the edge or width, what is the width, and so on. And then second derivative, or second order derivative, the variation of f double dash xy of gray level value, basically you see that the variation of the gray level, that is variation of variation, is basically difference of this one, and again you are taking the difference of this one, so that's why it is called the variation of the variation. Okay, and this is represented with a double dash x comma y, so you are taking the double derivative of this one. So we have to basically see how fast does the gradient change and find the zero crossing in that case, and also we have to combine with the Gaussian for smoothing the image, so that noise part will be removed. But first we'll see only, okay, what happens with only Laplacian, what kind of problem you get, and then how those problems are overcome by using Laplacian or Gaussian, and so on. So yeah, okay, same thing here. It has been represented. If one dimensional Laplacian operator is there, so you get the first derivative of this one like this, and second derivative like this. And then for two-dimensional function, you have to take the second derivative in x direction as well as second derivative in y direction. So you get the del square f like this, so which is nothing but the partial derivative in x direction and partial derivative in y direction. Right now, the second order derivative edge detection operators are like this. So here the center pixel is equal to 4 coefficient, and then horizontal and vertical pixels are like this, -1, -1, -1, and then corner pixels are 0. So this will basically be more effective in horizontal and vertical direction. But okay, you can have this another mask of second order derivative, that is Laplacian, where this is 8. See why this is 4? Because you are considering these pixels. So how many pixels are considered? 4 pixels are considered. So this is subtracted from this one. So you know that total weight must be equal to 0, or summation of total coefficient must be equal to 0. So that's why here 4 is considered. Now here 8 coefficients, 8 pixels, neighboring pixels are considered, which will be subtracted from the central one. So here this value is 8, and then these values are -1. So you can change also, like for example, if you take it as a -2, then this should be equal to 16 or something like that, -2, -2, and so on. Or you can also prepare your own mask, like you can give more weightage to the center one, this one, this one, and this one. Like for example, if I consider this as a -2, -2, and -2, and -2, and then here -1, -1, -1, -1. So definitely what I have to do, I have to add 4 here. So the center coefficient will be equal to 4. Now, so here del square f will be equal to what? That is 4z5u, because this is z5u. So 4z5u minus what is this one? Z2. This is Z4. This is Z6 and Z8. So this is the mathematical formulation of this mask. Similarly, the mathematical formulation of this mask is 8z5u minus what is this? Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, Z6. And Z7, Z8, Z9. So this is the mathematical formulation of this second order derivative. And then, so this is the same thing, second order derivative, which is called as the Laplacian filter. And the Laplacian filter is typically not used by itself, as it is too sensitive to the noise, and usually then used for edge detection. The Laplacian is combined with a smoothing or Gaussian filter, so that is called as the Laplacian or Gaussian. So your 2D operator, this Laplacian filter is approximated like this, so which we have considered the first mask. Then, as I said, that you can change the mask also. Only thing is that you have to keep in mind that your mask coefficient total summation must be equal to 0. So you can design your own mask, as I said here also. So these are the examples of Laplacian mask, and you can use for detecting the edges in second order. So this will detect basically horizontal edge and so on, whereas this will detect the diagonal and so on. So you can create your own mask, and the output of that one is, suppose for example, this is the input image, and if you are using the mask like this, so you get the edge detected image like this. So you can see that, okay, edges are detected, thickness of the edge is also less as compared to the Sobel or first order this one. But what is the problem? The problem is that a lot of noise is there. So basically it is misleading to the edge and so on. So we have to remove that one. We want a 1 pixel thick edge, but at the same time we don't want the noise and so on. And so this is the example of another example. So for example, horizontal gradient component, vertical gradient component, and then combined edge detection and so on, right? So this is another example. Now, if there is a noise in the image and so on, so how to overcome that one? So we'll see in our tomorrow's lecture Laplacian of Gaussian technique as well as difference of Gaussian technique, and if possible we'll also cover the optimal edge detection technique, that is nothing but the canny edge detection. So today we'll stop here. If you summarize today's class, so in today's class we have studied the first order derivative techniques like as edge detection by using Sobel operator, edge detection by using Prewitt operator, edge detection by using Robert operator. And then the problem of that one is that it can detect the edge, but in Sobel operator the thickness of edge is larger, noise is also there. But advantage is that, you know, from implementation point of view, computation complexity is very less. It is simple to implement and so on. And then second order derivative methods like as a Laplacian method is there, and we have seen how to generate the mask of your own choice. And then we have seen the example of how to detect the edges by using the Laplacian operator. So it detects the edges of thin edges. There is no thick edge or like that. But at the same time, there is also a noise. So how to overcome that noise part? So that we'll study in our tomorrow's lecture. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow.